So as a Nigerian traveler who has spent a few weeks in Ghana, I think there are a couple of things living in Ghana will teach you as a Nigerian. And honestly, this is not a form of comparison because, I mean, every country has good sides and bad sides. But I think in my course of traveling across Africa, I'm going to be focusing on the good side of countries, and probably we can talk about the bad side some other day, but I think the first thing I think a Nigerian can learn from living in Ghana is respect for women. Now, honestly, I really don't know how these people do it, but if you stay in Ghana for a while, you realize that there are certain things you can't do to women. I mean, it's not like Nigerians disrespect women, but there are certain cases where you've seen men beating up women, and I think it's a global phenomenon. Now, if that kind of thing happens in Ghana, based on what I've seen, because I think I've witnessed something like that once, and a couple of persons also confirmed it to me, so it's something that happens. If you're caught beating up a woman, I think the first thing they do is they'll separate you from that woman. Obviously, they need to separate you from that fight. And then they will beat you up, as is they will beat you, they will beat you, you understand? And by the time they are done, that's when they now ask you, okay, what happened? At that point in time, you start explaining, because they don't want to hear say you, they follow woman, they fight. Now, it's not like it doesn't happen in Ghana. Like I said, it's the global phenomenon, but the way they handle issues here, the way they handle molestation against women, the way they handle men that beat women is entirely different from the way it happens in Nigeria. Now, there are a couple of cases in Nigeria where you find a man beating up a woman and people just come and separate them. Now, another thing I feel can be learned from the Ghanaians is patience. Now, you see, Nigerians generally are urgent people. I mean, they want to get things done ASAP. They want to get things done quickly. If you've been to Nigeria before, you can tell from the attitude of an average Nigerian that you want to get something done, it has to be done quickly. But on the other side, Ghanaians are like the direct opposite. It's not like they are slow. I mean, to an extent they're slow, but they have this kind of patience that you probably will not find elsewhere. It's like they are not in a hurry. They are not rushing anywhere. They take things very slowly. So it took me a little while to understand that if you want to get something, you have to queue. I mean, if you want to do anything, you have to wait till it gets to your turn. So a random guy cannot just pull up and take your spot because he came with a vehicle or something and they get to attend to him before they attend to you. Also, walking through the streets of Ghana, I mean, I've been to the marketplaces and most times I realize, I'm a Nigerian, so I equally love things being done quickly. So I find myself in certain places I want to get things done and I'm trying to tell the person, you need to do this thing quickly, and the person is looking at me, As a matter of fact, I went to the market. I was trying to film at Makola market. So I was trying to get something at the same time. And you can understand how rowdy marketplaces can be. So I was trying to get something from the lady and I was just trying to I just found myself doing like this, like, you should hurry up, hurry. And that was when I now noticed she was now taking her time. I was like, Mama, can you please be fast? She was just, I don't know, she was just looking at me. By the time she gave me and I was walking, I was like, I mean, I've been in Ghana for a while. I should understand that people are calm, they are patient. So as a matter of fact, even before I left, she said something and someone interpreted it to me that she was like trying to say that I'm rude. Like, why was I trying to hasten her up? So I just realized, oh, come on, I'm not in Nigeria. Because in Nigeria, you don't even have to hasten the person up. The person is quick. And even when you are hastening the person up, the person will even do it extra quicker. And they understand that you are in a hurry because that's Nigeria. But Ghanaians are chill. I don't even know why I'm laughing, but it was kind of funny to me. Although I apologized to her, I understood. Now, another thing is Ghanaians are law-abiding. I mean, by default, they are law-abiding. And I'm using the word by default because they just know. I mean, you don't have to be told. But in certain instances where the government has to announce that, oh, this thing is wrong or this thing should not be done, they understand. And that does not mean we don't have non-law abiding citizens in Ghana. But I mean, that's why there are law enforcement agencies. That's why they have the police, they have the military, they have the paramilitary, and everybody trying to maintain law and order. But I realized that majority of Ghanaians actually know how to abide by the law, especially when it comes to traffic laws. There are little to no traffic violations. Now, I didn't travel the entire Ghana. I only went to Western Ghana, I went to Central Ghana, and then I came to Accra. So I can't tell for other places in Ghana. But places where I was, I mean, based on what I observed, Ghanaians know how to abide by traffic lights, You don't need a particular police force or a law enforcement outfit to tell you that you need to stop when the law is red. You need to stop when the light is red. Now, I'm saying this because there are certain places in Nigeria that you see people beating the traffic lights. And when you realize they are obeying the traffic light, it's because there's a certain task force around, just parked around. You just notice that there's a van waiting for somebody to beat the traffic light. And so they come after you. And then when they come after you, you have to part away with a large amount of money. So you now see people trying to wait for the traffic light to turn green before they move and turn red before they stop. But then again, in Ghana, it's different. I mean, I observed a lot of things, and I equally had to ask a couple of questions. Of course, they have task force. I don't know if they have task force or law regulation for traffic violations, but they have regular task force in the market and other places. But I actually did not spot any task force that was stopping people for beating the traffic light. So you just find out that when the traffic light is red, people just stop. When it's green, they take their time to move. So you can even cross the express when the traffic light is green. I'm not saying you should do that, but these people will even wait for you. They want for you to leave the road. That is law abiding in another level. Now, another thing Ghana teaches you is outright respect. I mean, you get to hear please often. You get to hear I'm sorry. You know, you get to realize that telling somebody please doesn't take anything from you. Telling somebody I'm sorry doesn't belittle you. I mean, it doesn't belittle you as a man, doesn't belittle you as a woman or whatever. You know, in fact, these people even apologize in times when they are not wrong. In times when they didn't do anything to you. Because, I mean, growing up in Nigeria, you get to realize that if you do something to somebody, be quick to say I'm sorry. Be quick to apologize. You get? But in this sense, it's not like they even wronged you to start with. They didn't do anything wrong. Like, I met a lady in Western Ghana at Benin, very close to Nzulezo there, and we're talking, and she was trying to explain something to me, and I didn't really understand, you know, and I was like, oh, I don't really understand what you were saying. I was like, I'm sorry. Now, that's just one instance. It has happened time and time again. At the point in time, I was in a taxi, as Ghanaians will call it, and I was talking with the taxi driver, and he was trying to explain something else to me. I think we were talking about Black Stars, you know, Asamoah Gyan, and the time he was really at his peak, you know, because I used to love that guy. There was a particular penalty that this guy took, and he missed in one of the World Cups in, I think, 2010 or thereabouts. And so he was arguing with me. I was like, I think he was trying to tell me it was in 2008. I was like, there was no World Cup in 2008. And this guy argued, and by the time we confirmed it, he was apologizing. I mean, he kept apologizing and apologizing. I'm like, bro, it's just a football banter. I mean, I'm not a big football fan, but when it comes to national football, I love it. So I'm like, bro, it's just a football banter. You don't have to apologize. And he apologized till I got to my destination. Even after I got down from the vehicle and paid him and all of that, I was like, oh, bruh, how did he say? I think he said Massa. I was like, bruh, I'm sorry. I'm like, bro. A lot of this, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sorry, it's like a culture here, so they're quick to apologize even when it doesn't warrant it. And then they're quick to say thank you. And even when you didn't even do them any favor, you just say thank you. I mean, these are little things I've picked. I mean, I've always been a polite person, but this extra sense of politeness is what I think everybody needs to learn. Because if you offend somebody and you're quick to apologize and you're quick to be appreciative of the things you do, I think you will have lesser issues with people. Now, another thing is the customer service culture. Now, I'm not trying to say Nigerians have to learn this entirely, but in some form. You see, Ghana has this very chill customer service. And I'm not just talking about the hospitality industry, because I think everywhere, virtually almost every hotel you can go to, apartment services around the world, they're always very polite. But aside from the hospitality industry, on the road, on the street, in the marketplaces, you see, customer service is almost always top-notch. And I've come across a couple of rude people in my own country, and it's not like you are doing me a favor. I'm actually doing you a favor. I'm spending my money in your industry, depending on where I meet you. But there's this way I think people should be treated that Ghanaians really understand. They will treat you in such a way that even if you don't want to buy, because of the way the person is speaking to you, you might actually want to patronize them. And it happened to me not once, not twice, because certain times when I leave the house, I have a budget. Okay, this is where I'm going to. I just have what I'm going to do mapped out for that day. Because each of my exploration in Ghana, I understood where the place I was going to go to, how much I was going to spend. But certain times I found out that I spend even more than that, because say the person you just be the way they speak to you, and you know that even when you tell them that, oh, I don't think I can buy today, or I don't think I can purchase from you today, I don't think I can patronize you today, not even small businesses, it could be big businesses, they understand you are not going to buy, but they're still going to talk to you in a way that will make you understand, okay, even if I don't buy today, I want to buy tomorrow. So this customer service is something else. Now, another thing is, Ghana is not a chaotic country, I can tell you that for free, and they are not aggressively chasing the bag. You can't compare that to Nigeria. Now, I'm not saying it's something Nigerians have to learn in its entirety, but there's any things we can still pick out from this. Now, there are a lot of people that are making it in Ghana. I mean, they're making a lot of money. They're calm. They're chill. They are non-aggressive. Because I think a couple of my people believe that the only way you can make it is if you are chasing the bag aggressively, irrespective of whose ox is God. And I feel it's a little bit not right. I mean, I love that hustling spirit in Nigeria. People feel they want to make money. Nigerians don't feel you owe them anything. Okay, I mean, there can be a few exceptions, but we feel if we must go out for something, we'll go all in for it. You know, we'll put in the work, we'll put in the effort. So if it doesn't work, we can say, oh, we failed. But in the course of doing that, we make a lot of mistakes along the way. We become so aggressive. We don't take a lot of things into cognizance, and that's the direct opposite in Ghana. And now it has its pros and cons, because on the Ghanaian side, they are not aggressive. They don't have this kind of approach that some Nigerians have. So basically, I think that's one of the things we actually need to learn from these people. Pursue money aggressively, but don't lose yourself along the way, because these people don't. I really don't know how to explain this in a way I've experienced it. You know, there's certain times you experience some things that you want to explain it, but you really can't find the words to put it together. So I think that's where I found myself right now. But there are a lot of things I think can be learned from these people. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you've experienced things like this, or you feel there are more things Nigerians can learn from Ghanaians. And honestly, this is not a banter, because if we want to talk about things Ghanaians can learn from Nigerians, so we'll leave that to the Ghanaians to do, but there are many. If we want to talk about things that Nigerians can learn from Ghanaians, there are many. So we can actually learn from each other without this banter. Well, let me know your experience in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.